Hello, dear viewers. You're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to English News Broadcast. Let us start with the major headlines for today. Call to pay due attention to preceding history by Mr. Alemseged Tesfaye. Popular campaign conducted in Massawa city. The Democratic Republic of Congo has begun Ebola vaccination of its citizens. And Eurozone inflation hits new high this month. On your domestic news, at a seminar organized to use at the Asmara Municipality Hall, Mr. Alemseged Tesfaye, historian and author, called on the youth to pay due attention to the conservation and research to the preceding heroic history of the country, indicating that the factual and deep history of Eritrea is based on the heroic struggle of the past and present generations of Eritrea, called on the youth to properly document the profound sacrifice paid and stay vigilant not to allow their history being distorted and vanished, pointing out that deep root of Eritrean national identity had significant contribution in combating and foiling external conspiracies and blatant aggression. Mr. Alemseged called for strengthening unity and perseverance. Mr. Alemseged further noted that the history of Eritrea and its people is based on the righteous and strong leadership, and called on the youth to follow the footsteps of the past generations and conduct scientific research on the heroic feats demonstrated. The participants on their part expressed conviction to play due part in the effort to conduct research and document the shining history and in transferring to posterity. Workers in the civil service in the port city of Massawa conducted popular campaign today, 29 April, at the Massawa Martyr Cemetery in connection with International Workers' Day. The popular campaign included clearing and maintaining the compound of the Martyr Cemetery as well as watering trees, indicating that the workers conduct popular campaign every year in connection with the International Workers' Day. The participants expressed satisfaction for conducting at the Martyr Cemetery, where the heroes and heroine that paid ultimate sacrifice to their people and the country are laid to rest. Speaking at the event, Mr. Habtemariam Tesfaye Mikael, head of the National Confederation of the Eritrean Workers, branch in the subzone, said that encouraging achievement is being registered in organizing workers within the umbrella of the Confederation. The International Workers' Day is being observed for the 132nd time at the international level and for the 31st time at the national level. On your last local news, seminar with a view to develop the understanding of law in general and control the prevalence of crimes was organized in Mendefera subzone from 15 to 25 April. At the seminar conducted to the residents of the administrative areas of Adduwagri, Berrakh, Addimengonti, as well as to students of Orota, Shekawed Bisrat, and Kudo Felasi schools, the commander of police station in Mendefera, Major Girmay Sigalet, called on the residents and students to adhere to the noble societal values and refrain themselves from involving in unlawful activities, indicating that lack of understanding of law could not save from accountability. Major Girmay called on the residents and students to develop their understanding on law and cooperate with the police force in controlling crimes and offences. The participants on their part conducted extensive discussion on the objective situation in their areas and adopted various recommendations as well as to organize similar seminars in the other areas of the subzone. Dear viewers, and now we'll be back with the international news after the short break. Welcome back. On your global news, the Democratic Republic of Congo has begun vaccinating its citizens against Ebola after 2 deaths were recorded since April 21st. This is according to the WHO. The vaccination has already started in Mbandaka, a town in the northwest of the country where a new outbreak of Ebola was seen, leading to the death of 2 people. With effective vaccines at hand and the experience of local health workers, we can now change the course of this new epidemic for the better, said WHO Regional Director Matshidiso Moeti. According to the organization, around 200 doses of recombinant VSV vaccines have been sent to Mbandaka, and others will be delivered progressively in the coming days. The vaccination uses the ring strategy, where all people who have come into contact with a confirmed Ebola patient receive the vaccine, as well as frontline workers. So far, according to the WHO, 233 contacts have been identified and are under surveillance. In addition to vaccination, a 20-bed Ebola treatment center has been set up in Mbandaka. In 2020, Ebola caused the deaths of 55 people out of 130 recorded cases in Mbandaka. First identified in 1976 in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Ebola virus is transmitted to humans by infected animals. Human transmission is via body fluids, with the main symptoms being fever, vomiting, bleeding, and diarrhea. On your last international news, as per the official data, the inflation in the Eurozone hit a new record this month, while growth slowed during the first quarter of the year as the war in Ukraine takes a toll on the European economy. The European Union Statistic Agency Eurostat said today that the annual inflation soared by 7.5% in April, impelled by skyrocketing energy prices. The figure was the highest since statistics started in 1997 and the sixth record in a row, topping the old record of 7.4% from March. The figure is evidence to how Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the accompanying global energy crunch are affecting the Eurozone's 343 million people, adding new burdens to household finances and weighing on a slowing economic recovery from the latest outbreaks of COVID-19. In the US, meanwhile, inflation is also running at an eye-watering 8.5%. Separately, Eurostat said economic growth in the 19 European Union member countries that use the euro slowed to 0.2% in the first 3 months of 2022, as higher inflation coupled with restrictions during the spread of the highly contagious Omicron variant of the coronavirus held back demand. The spike in consumer prices is mainly due to the higher energy costs, which are up to startling 38% compared with the same month last year. Concerned over the possibility of even higher heating, electricity, and auto-fuel prices, European governments have so far held back from halting energy imports from Russia as part of the unprecedented sanctions they have imposed on it over its invasion of Ukraine. But economists fear the war may lead to an interruption of oil or gas supplies from Russia, pushing prices even higher. Dear viewers, you're still watching ERi-TV, and now a recap of the major headlines for today. Call to pay due attention to preceding history by Mr. Alemseged Tesfaye. Popular campaign conducted in Massawa city. On the international news, the Democratic Republic of Congo has begun Ebola vaccination of its citizens. And Eurozone inflation hits new high this month. Dear viewers, thanks for watching. Have a good one.